This knowledge is very, very important for all the sadhaks, especially who have started off on the path and learned some meditation practices, Sudarshan Kriya. Because at some point of time, initially when you do the program, when you do Art of Living course, you are so enthusiastic of doing your Kriya every day, attending the follow ups. And after some point of time, it can become a little bit of a routine. So then what to do? It can get a little boring. The topic of today's knowledge sheet number 23 is boredom and sadhana. What is boredom? It is just a repetition of thoughts without interest or love that causes a monotonous state of mind and overshadows the self. Spiritual practices, sadhana, are again a repetition whose purpose is to destroy boredom and reunite you with the self. A practice itself creates boredom. Any practice is going to create boredom after some point of time. I normally when I do any training sessions and when we practice certain things, I ask my participants like, okay, so are you bored now? They say, to just sound nice. They say, no, we are not bored. I said, okay, if you are not yet bored, that means your practice has not even started. When you start getting bored, that means you have gone some way into the practice. You have traveled some distance into the practice. A practice itself creates boredom, but as you continue, you penetrate the boredom and destroy it once and for all. Now, this is the thing. You get bored, and normally what you do, you give up there. You start getting a little impatient. You feel that, okay, I've been doing this, but nothing is happening. And then you start getting bored. And anyway, you're already bored. You get more bored. And you also see that, your expectations are not met. And then you quit, which is the biggest mistake. So what you need to do? Just continue. When you continue, you penetrate the boredom and destroy it once and for all. Whether the practice gives you joy or boredom, it must be continued. This is very amazing. Because see, every day you do something, not necessarily that every day you are going to get some thrilling, amazing experiences. Isn't it? So it may sometimes be enjoyable and sometimes it may be boring. But still it must be continued. Only your practices, your sadhana can overcome the mind. Overcoming the mind. Mind is that which comes in between you and the self. Once Gurudev had said, between you and reality there is a thought. So overcoming all this movement of prana, all these thoughts and feelings, emotions, sensations, sadhana is the only way. Love is always repetitive. Love letters are mostly repetitive, and yet there is no boredom there, for the self is all love. See, now when you are in love, you don't say I love you once, no, you want to say it repeatedly, the same thing again and again and again. But still it is not boring, because our nature, our self is all love. If you are bored with yourself, how much more boring must you be for others? Some people say, oh, I cannot sit with my eyes closed, and it's not possible to sit with eyes closed. Then here we can ask this question to them, this kind of people, that you cannot spend time with yourself. The moment you close your eyes, after just a few minutes you get bored of just sitting with yourself. So if you are so bored with yourself, how much more boring you must be for someone else? Root out the boredom in you through deep and continued meditation. Wake up and walk upwards. One of my friend Arvind, he used to tell me that when you're feeling really, really bored, but you still persist and do your sadhana, that sadhana is very special. See how amazing you feel after that. Because that is the reward of that purusha, that self-effort you took, and you stayed committed, and you say, I am terribly bored, I don't want to sit now with all the same pranayam, but yet I am going to do it as a commitment. Then what happens? You root out the boredom in you through deep and continued meditation. Wake up and walk upwards. Jai Gurudev. The next knowledge sheet is, who are you? Knowledge sheet number 24. See you then.